Alright guys, so I'm gonna go see the Great Wall with my parents. Um, it's a beautiful morning in Vegas today.
This is your time.
Alright guys, so when I was watching Jason Bourne, they had a trailer for The Great Wall before the movie started, and my dumbass left the trailers just play, and I was watching it with my parents because my dad wanted to watch this movie, and the trailer for The Great Wall played, and my dad said that he wanted to watch that movie, so I guess I ended up at the theater watching The Great Wall. So in The Great Wall, we have Matt Damon play a character where him and his friend are looking for this thing called black powder. And while they're doing that, they go into some Chinese army, and they're fighting some monsters, or dealing with some monsters, which are like some alligator type things, monster things. They're really ugly looking, and they basically are just fighting these monsters and trying to save China. And yeah, okay, on paper this movie actually sounds really good, but once they actually make the movie, it's probably not going to end up as good as you visioned, because it just kind of ends up turning into a mess. As far as Matt Damon did a good job in this movie, he felt very miscasted. He felt like he did not belong in this movie, because he just felt like he was just thrown in there to just sell tickets here in the US, because this movie is basically a Chinese movie, or at least a movie made for the Chinese audience for them to enjoy, and it looks like they really wanted to make money off this, so they decided to just throw a very famous American actor to sell tickets here in the US. And I'm looking at the box office, and it isn't looking good for the movie nor for the studio. And not to mention, this is the most expensive movie to ever be made in China. Looking through the actors of this movie, and mainly all the actors are Chinese actors, which of course really makes it look like they've really made this movie more for China than for the US audience. But those Chinese actors, there's this one specific character. She's a badass female lead type character, and I thought that she did a very good job. In fact, I think that she's probably the best character in the whole movie. We have William Dafoe, who really does not belong in this movie at all. His character had no purpose into this movie except for this one stupid thing he does in this movie, and that's about all. But he was very wasted, and I did not like his character. The director of this movie is really big in China, and I'd admit that he actually looked like he cared for this movie. He really tried to make this a good movie, or a great movie in fact, and you just, watching this movie, you just see all these things that really made it look like the director cared for this movie. Now when I look back to this movie in the future, what I'm going to remember the most off this movie are the visuals. The visuals are eye candy. They're spectacular. This movie is so colorful. They're split into different groups, and those different groups have different colors, and it's just so beautiful. And every time they're just launching this powder at these animals, they're different colors, and it makes this movie look just so beautiful. And the stunts in this movie are also performed amazingly by these Chinese actors. Some of the green screen is noticeable, but just take that away, the visuals are still fantastic. The visuals are just beautiful to look at, and if you don't believe me, watch it yourself, because the visuals are absolutely worth the time that you're watching this movie for. Now, I still can't get over how bad and absolutely bad the CGI for these crocodile animal things are in this movie. The CGI, it's just so fake. You know, it's a cartoon or a CG character. It looks like a cartoon character, and it's just CGI is just really bad. In the first act, it's basically a build up, and I think it's actually a good build up because in the first act, or like in the ending of the first act, we actually get the scene where they're fighting on the Great Wall with these monsters. Then the second act just kind of gets low, and just that these characters have different plans. Not gonna spoil anything, but it's the second act is basically kind of also building up to the finale scene where they're all fighting the monsters and all that, but they're basically making the plan. And then the third act is basically the big bang where everything happens, everything goes down, they fight these monsters. And the third act is definitely the best act of this movie, and it's really good. Sadly, with the great story that this movie is trying to go for, they do have many different plots that this movie just throws in there just for the sake of making it a 2-hour long movie. Again, or almost 2 hours long. And again, we have that William Dafoe character who doesn't serve a purpose to this movie and does not belong in this movie, and he has his own plot in order to do this stupid thing in the movie, and yeah, they really should have kept that out of the movie. Overall, The Great Wall is a fun movie when it needs to be a fun movie, and it's also really dumb, but I just can't, like, as an actual film, I just can't get over the fact with that other stupid side plot and the bad CGI and just all that stuff just dragging this movie down, and why some people hate this movie. And this movie was a really mixed bag for me. Again, there were things I liked and some things I didn't like, and of course it resulted to, at least for me, having a hard time knowing what I'm gonna score this movie. Either I could have gone average or I could have gone mediocre at best. But of course, I have my own rating system, and in my own rating system, I'm gonna say that you should netbox The Great Wall. Netbox basically means you could wait till Netflix or Redbox it. And in a letter grade, I'm gonna give The Great Wall a C+. If you guys seen The Great Wall, make sure to leave a like and tell me what you guys thought about it down in the comment section down below, and make sure to subscribe to make sure to be updated on when I upload movie days and reviews, because there are more movie days to come up, because I recently got invited to a Kong screening, a very early screening, about 9 days early. And yeah, make sure to just be kept updated. But other than that, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys later.